I'm really proud of our guys. Great win in our league home opener. Against a team that really threw a lot at us. They were reeling a little bit after that last game, as we were, and I thought our guys showed great toughness and resiliency through some up and down play to close the game out and get us the win here to start the home part of our league schedule.
Were you expecting such a deliberate style of game where both teams were going to use?
Well, we were hoping so, because that's how we have to play. With shortened bench, we've got to play our tempo, which is a little bit slowed down. It's not always pretty, but that's what we've got to do to give ourselves a chance to win. Times we tried to get out, you saw what it led to. We were turning it over in transition, and they're a team that really gets back well. But I knew if our guys could defend the way we were supposed to defend, that we were going to be able to limit them, hopefully. We did a great job guarding the three-point line. They'll say they probably missed some that on average they're going to make, but I thought it was because of our guys' intensity and focus on the defensive end.
Malcolm, what are you thinking there in the last 4 minutes at the foul line with those 6 free throws you had?
I'm just clearing my mind, just knocking them down. I was just blocking out everything, the crowd, everything, and just focus on that moment and making every shot.
Good to be home, Malcolm?
Yeah, I love Gil. I love the energy. Everyone, the fans were out there tonight supporting. We're going to need more for Sunday, so it was good energy in there today.
How about you, Gary?
Oh yeah, it's always great to play here. We're real comfortable here, and we know we got to protect the house to have a good shot at the end of the season.
When you guys were able to really shut down their top 2 scorers, what do you credit that to?
Just the guys' effort. Defensively, we were as locked on to the game plan for most of the game as we have been. And whether we played a lot more man than normal, but that's because we are not a great communicating team yet, and you have to be if you're going to play a lot of zone, especially when you're playing teams at this level. So we had to play mostly man, and our guys took the challenge on and did a pretty darn good job. Other than the second to the last possession when we were supposed to go back zone and 2 guys were in zone and a few were in man.
So what were you saying to the guys when they cut it to 3 late?
We just said, hey, it hasn't been pretty, but we're up 3 at home at the free throw line. So let's these guys won't mind. We messed up offensive sets 7 times out of timeouts. 7 times we ran something totally different than when we were supposed to, and that's very draining. But at that point, we said, okay, hey, it hasn't been pretty. We've made mistakes, but we're going to be locked in these last 3:30 or whatever it is. We're going to get stops. We're going to have the right matchups. They're going to have to foul us or pressure us. We'll take care of the ball and knock them down at the free throw line. And it was when he was going to the line, and he just winked at the staff, and he says, I've got these. And so we just said, get stops, make free throws, handle the ball, and we'll close it out.
Malcolm, are you feeling pretty confident right now to wink at the staff?
Yeah, I know. I just been putting in the work in the gym, so getting my free throws in after practice and such like that. So when I come to the line, I'm really confident on the line. So I know it's something I've been working on. So yeah, I'm ready to knock them down.
Chris, does it make you feel kind of good the fact that you can, have an ugly game like this but still be a Pac-12 team?
No, certainly. Yeah, just the way things have been going with us, just being able to get a win here the first home game, and then I had a buddy, that we used to talk, we used to compete against each other in a rival game, and he always thought there was somewhat of a hangover for the team that lost that rivalry game. And so we were a little concerned going into this whether there would be one, and the team showed no signs of that. I didn't believe in it. And our guys came out and found a way, whether it was pretty or not, to slug one out. Mike Montgomery used to use the line slugging rats when it wasn't real pretty out there, and we were slugging rats a little bit today, but they made the plays when it counted down the stretch. But the message we said in the locker room is we've got to quit making it hard on ourselves by executing out of timeouts, by making good decisions with the ball, by being locked in defensively, and if we can get to where we're doing that closer to 40 minutes, then we'll continue to improve. These guys battled. I mean, Coach Sendek's a heck of a coach. They ran some great stuff there in the last few few possessions out of timeouts to get, I think they got a nice little bucket at the rim. And then they threw a lot at us. They really got physical defensively. We don't have a ton of numbers, and I'm proud of these guys and the others for playing all the way to the end and staying with it and finding a way to close it out.
What do you think of Jonas tonight? He was kind of plays.
He's the guy we had change the number on the board. I mean, he played the whole second half without coming out. We had a couple of, he's been struggling a little bit. He's just frustrated. He's been so banged up. He feels like he's even said it, I'm letting the team down because he's not playing, he hadn't been playing the way he thought he should, but we know he's not 100%. And his practices this week, guys, the best we've seen him all year, the most energy. And so he was rewarded tonight. I'm not saying by me. He was rewarded with his play, I think, because of his focus and I think his mental approach to tonight's game. So we were really proud of him.
Did they do anything special on Olaf? He was held in check tonight.
Well, he got hurt. I think early on, I think they just pressed up on him. We tried to go to the post to him a couple of times, and I think he's maybe a little fatigued. He just wasn't moving like normal, and then he tweaked his ankle there. And I don't know what point that was, but we played the last 14 minutes without him, I think. So Vic made some big plays for us, obviously, and hopefully Olaf will be able to bounce back. But I think they didn't want to give him any room, so they put a smaller guy on him and pressed up on him wherever he went, and so he didn't get that many good looks.
Gary, for you to have Daniel have a game like this, not 15 points or anything like that, the guards to kind of rely on that presence from Daniel Gomez, how much does it make it easier for you and the guards?
It makes it a lot easier. We can give it in, we can cut, and he's a decent passer, so we can cut and he'll find us, and we can go in and out, and he just makes plays for us.
Just on the defensive end, especially when we're playing man, we could really press up and pressure the ball because we know we have he had 3 blocks tonight. We know we have a guy who's a presence down there in the paint. So so it just makes us play more physical, knowing we have the help behind us with his presence.
Coach, short turnaround with a top 10 team coming in. This is the
Can't wait.
Pac-12.
Yeah, can't wait. In this league, there's, if you get in a little bit of a rut, there's nowhere you can look to try to get healthy. You're playing somebody really good every night, and we just happen to be playing a great team on Sunday. But we'll put a plan in place. We'll rest up, and we'll bring our hard hats and lunch pails on Sunday and see what we've got. But we've got to look forward to that opportunity. We know they're really good. They've got a team of McDonald's All-Americans, potential pros, and it's going to be a tough task, but our guys are kind of developing, a little pride here at home that they don't worry about what's across their chest. We play because of the name on our chest, and we'll give it our best and see what we've got.